Joining us now to talk more about this, our Money Huddle for this Thursday, President of Zuma Global and financial analyst Heather Zumarraga is here. Also with us, America's accountant, Dan Geltrude. He's a CPA and founder of Geltrude & Company. Huddle, great to have you with us. Heather, first to you. I mean, it's 7.9%, but what is real inflation? Because my grocery bills are higher than 7.9% when you compare them year to year.
Right. So a lot of what the Federal Reserve looks at is excluding food and fuel and some of the more volatile categories. But the New Yorkers are smart, right? They say, you know who's to blame. We're going to blame the guy who's in charge. And Jen Psaki's saying that it's Russia is just a flat out lie. Oil prices are not higher just because of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Oil prices were at $80 a barrel before Russia invaded Ukraine. They were already set to reach 7-year highs before this whole thing happened. So you can't keep blaming Russia. It exacerbated the situation. Sure, you have a compounding effect of supply chain issues, and you have pandemic reopening, and you have inflation. And now the war exacerbated that. But you can't just point fingers at Russia. You have to look in the mirror. Americans are feeling it. They're not dumb. A 40-year high at inflation is not just at the pump. Like you said, it's your grocery bill. It's food costs. Companies across the board, including small businesses, are saying enough's enough.
And Dan, you know, Mike Carter said that we could see it peak in June. I mean, do you agree with that assessment? It all seems like guessing, because we were told once upon a time from the top financial minds, this is just transitory, nothing to worry about.
Right.
It's expected, temporary, transitory. What do you call this type of inflation? Chronic inflation?
Out of control inflation is what it is, John. And look, this is not going to be slowing down anytime soon. I've said this for a long time, from when all this inflation talk started and we were talking about it being transitory. And my position on that was very simple. If it's transitory, what event is going to take place, or what policy change was going to occur that was going to reverse the trajectory of inflation? You know, once inflation starts, it's hard to slow it down, meaning that once costs go up, for example, when wages are going up, those are things that you're not going to reverse. So if it's going to cost companies more and more money to pay their employees, they're not going to absorb that. Those things are going to end up being passed on to consumers. So until there's some type of major policy shift, and right now that needs to be related to energy, I do not see inflation slowing down at all.
Well, I would love to get a couple of minutes with Janet Yellen or Jerome Powell and ask them if they agree with Jen Psaki's assessment that Vladimir Putin is all to blame. But unfortunately, we're out of time. We'll have to leave that question unanswered for now. Great to see you both, Heather and Dan. Thanks for joining us for this week's Money Huddle.
Thanks, John.
Thank you, John.
Great to see you both.